I don't understand why some men think it's okay to shoplift the pootie.
Give it to me like.
And if you're wondering what is shoplifting the pootie, it is essentially a reference from the movie Jerry Maguire. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character mentions this to Jerry. And essentially what it is you're hijacking a woman's intimacy and taking advantage of the fact that she's a little bit more vulnerable because she sees hope in you. She sees you being the capstone to life. You being the great white knight, right, to come into her situation and make everything perfect, make her family perfect. But what you're really doing is just taking advantage of her, hijacking her intimacy, but never setting any real expectations on where the relationship is going. You have this notion that it's just like any other relationship, that you grow organically and over time, and then we'll see if things work out. And that's where the shoplifting comes into play. This is my humble opinion, but I think when you are dating somebody with children, you need to have a faster track of what your intentions are, and you need to state those very early on. It is what it is. You're going to get what you get. And women in that situation don't have time to play. They don't have time for games. You got to know what you want. If you don't want it, keep it stepping. Keep on moving. Don't try to hang in there and hijack intimacy and create this whole scenario that you're going to be there and you're going to be a constant force in their life, and then you start pulling back as soon as she wants a little bit more little bit more confirmation about where the relationship is headed. So with someone that you're dating with kids, you need to say to yourself, is this who I want? Because at that moment, she is going to show you who she is, the good sides and the bad sides. She's not going to hold back and pretend to be somebody else. She's going to let you in very quickly. She's also going to feel you out. Because keep in mind, her priority at that moment is her child. And if you're not going to be the cornerstone and fit into their world, then again, you need to get to stepping. So what do you do as a man if you're in this situation? Well, I'm drinking my coffee here because we're getting some meaty stuff right now. That's actually Folgers, by the way. A shout out to Folgers, still making that delicious coffee. So if you're a man in this in this situation where you're dating somebody with children, and you know, it being we're in the 2020s, that's going to be a more common relationship dynamic that we're going to see as trends, or at least studies are showing that men are waiting longer to get into committed and long-term relationships. So if you're in this situation, it's important for you to, one, be in a financial situation to take care of her and her child. Because if you need to understand that their kid is their highest priority at the end of the day. You are not the highest priority. You cannot put yourself in a position where you're jealous of how much attention that kid is getting and you feel like she needs to honor you more. She doesn't need to do anything unless you're trying to put a ring on it. Then you need to get to stepping. Then you need to go ahead and sob over there in the corner, get your emotions in check, and understand that if you're not willing to step up, be the leader, be the patriarch, then you need to shut up. So understand that. One, you need to make sure you're in a position to not only take care of her, but take care of that child. And then two, understand that her importance or her focus and attention is going to be on that child first. and then you second. The other aspect of it is once you do come into a situation where you are entering a long term relationship, you're engaged, you're married, then that focus should and eventually should shift. But in the beginning, you need to have those two components together because you don't have that much runway to just build a life. You really need to fit in at that moment. You need to come into the picture with something to offer, and her as well. But there's just not that much runway to start things organically. She's taking care of a human being. She's got bills. She's got a lot of responsibility. Taking care of children is a massive, massive undertaking, and we need to stop downplaying it like it's like taking care of a puppy. Okay, it's not. It's two different things, and it takes an incredible amount of energy and fortitude and strength to be a parent. It's the hardest job in the world. So understand you're coming into that space and demanding time and attention that she just really can't give you. And you should be thankful of the time she is giving you because she is strapped both on the energy level and on a time level. So, one, have your finances together where you can go ahead and fit in and start taking care of things from a financial standpoint to allow the relationship to flourish. Number two, do you want it? Do you want her or not? All of her, not just how she looks and this and that, all of her, the good, the bad, and the ugly, her children, her family. Do you want the whole enchilada? And you need to make a choice soon. There is no, I'm going to wait 4 or 5 years to make my decision. All of that is out the door because trust me, she will kick you out so dang fast. Oh my goodness. And we have a caller. 1 second. Hello.
I called you and I literally just forgot what I called you for. But if I hang up, I'm sure I'll remember.
Hey, a quick question for you, for listeners here, and for those who don't know, this is my wife, Natisha. Natisha, we're talking about men who desire to date women with kids. What do you say is the number one tip and advice for men who want to date women with kids?
I think it's important that a man resolve in his mind, one, to protect, right? Protect the girl he's interested in, the woman he's
Mm-hmm.
interested in, and the kids. Like, if he knows that he does not want to be a bonus dad, if you know that that's not something you want to do, then don't even pursue it, no matter how beautiful or intelligent, or whatever, bond and chemistry you all have. Because ultimately,
Let me ask you this before you go. I think a lot of men find themselves in a position. A lot of men find themselves in a position where they are dating they are dating someone who has children, and they've put a lot of energy into the relationship, and then a few months in they just the woman pulls out for some reason.
if she pulls out, there's a myriad of reasons, right? I mean, yeah, there's a myriad of reasons. Fear can be one of them, like you said, Miles. Fear is probably, a big one. Fear for many things. She's been hurt before. We bring our past experiences with us into intimate relationships. And I'm not talking about physically intimate, but just emotionally and relationally intimate. But honesty from the beginning, right? Like, what do you all hope to get out of it? Because the honest truth is the honest truth. Like, if truth isn't honest, the truth is that we all go into relationships with our own ideas and our own selfish needs. Would you agree, Miles?
Yeah, I think we all have needs and wants, and there's things to cross off
Liz.
our list of
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we have these, whether it's a tangible list, a physical list, and it's like, oh, she meets this, she meets that, he meets this, he meets that. So we have our own agendas, and that's natural, right? But a woman, a single mom, that's a different territory, man.
I appreciate your perspective this morning, and I think the listeners would appreciate that. If you want to go ahead and get a hold of Natisha Shockley, you can. She is available. Just go to our website at natishashockley.com or her Instagram handle, which is Empower the Parents.
Yes.
And you can reach out to her for more advice and expertise. She is a child whisperer, by the way, folks, and she gets her degree in child psychology from the University of Minnesota, that is. So thank you for your expertise this morning, babe. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Goodbye. All right, so here's some practical steps for you. So I'm a strong believer in application. If you're interested in a woman who has a kid or several kids, they're a single mother, first, you need to understand that there's a faster track with this person. You need to either you need to know whether or not you want to be with them and accept the full responsibility of their world. And if you want to come in and be a capstone and be part of that triangle, okay, if you want to be part of that pyramid in that household, that conclusion needs to be reached a lot sooner than someone who doesn't have kids. So some practical steps you should know within the first few months if you would pursue this person further and propose and get married to them. You should understand this right off the bat. Within the first few months, you should be able to make that decision. Because here's the thing. If they spend a few months with you, getting to know you, it's not too bad. It's not that much time. And I think it's enough time for them to get to know you and for you to get to know them. And I think they're going to be very transparent early on, which I think a lot of people are not so good at when they're in their singleness, like complete singleness. That means no kids and no prior marriages. This person is going to be a lot more transparent about who they are, which will allow you to see the full picture a lot sooner. So you just need to know before you razzle dazzle and wine and dine them, and they should know where the relationship is headed after that 2 to 3 month period. Like I foresee myself going to the next levels with you, and you being and you constantly reminding them as the relationship continues to develop that you're there, that you're present, that you're going to co-manage their stressors in life and their responsibilities, and that you guys are going somewhere. And so you need to reach those conclusions a lot sooner. There is no organically dating component to this. It is what it is. You get what you get. Come into it and know what you want. And if you don't want it, you don't want her, you don't want the lifestyle, you don't want the bonus dad title, then you need to go ahead and communicate that early on and not waste anybody's time.
Give it to me like